Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we will dive into database, database management system, types of a database, and we will look on a difference between relational and non-relational database. Then we will talk about the structural query language and at the end SQL commands and so much more. By the end of this video, you will have a clear understanding of how database work and their significance in the tech. So let's get started. So first talk about the database. What is database? Database can be considered as a container filled with a data or information which is electronically stored in a computer system. Data in any form can be stored into the database. Purpose of storing data in a database is so that it can be easily accessed, modified, protected, and analyzed. You may already be using database every day without your knowledge because most of the websites or mobile apps that we use every day such as Google, Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook, etc. already use database to store their data. Now, next question is DBMS or database are the same thing? Lots of people refer to database as a DBMS, but that is not entirely correct because database is just a container which store data, whereas database management system or DBMS is a software which is used to manage your database. You need DBMS to interact with database to store, modify, retrieve, and protect data. DBMS is also required to create, modify, and delete database. For example, imagine you are planning a big party. You have got a guest list, a menu, and a schedule. All the important details. This collection of information is like your party's database. Now, instead of juggling all this detail in your head or in a scattered piece of papers, you use a tool like a spreadsheet or dedicated party planning app. This tool is like a database management system. It helps you easily add new guests, change the menu, find out who is bringing what, and what keep everyone updated. Just like the DBMS help you manage your party information, real-world database store all the sorts of crucial information, and the DBMS is a powerful software that allow you easily work with and organize that data. In today's world, there are mainly two popular database types. As per the usage, over 74% of database used today are relational database. But due to the immense rise in data usage over the past decade, mainly due to social media platforms, non-relational database have become very popular. However, the biggest companies today who store data related to millions of users every day generally use combination of both relational and non-relational database. Hence, both these types of database are very popular and widely used. Now, let's talk about what is non-relational database. A non-relational database is a type of a database that does not use a traditional table-based structure of rows and columns. Instead, it stores data in a variety of formats, such as documents, key value pairs, graphs, or video column stores, or wide column stores, depending on the type of database. Non-relational databases are often called a NoSQL database because they offer a flexible approach to data storage and retrieval. Relational database it is a type of a database that organizes data into tables. Each table has a rows and columns. The relationship between tables are defined by a common field, often called a primary key and a foreign key. For example, imagine a movie rating system where a user can rate movies. You could have two tables. The first column movie, which has a columns movie ID, title, genre, and release year. And the second column, rating, which has a columns movie ID and rating. The movie ID field is the primary key in the movie tables, meaning it uniquely identifies each movie. In the rating table, the movie ID is a foreign key, referencing the primary key in the movie table. This establishes the relationship between the two tables. In a relational database, Using DBMS, you can enter commands in a specific language to store, retrieve, and modify data. This specific language is a SQL. SQL is a programming language which stands for a structured query language, which follows a standard format for querying data across different relational databases. Most of the financial institutions such as bank or insurance company use relational database. Example of a relational database are Oracle, MySQL, Microsoft SQL Server, PostgreSQL, and etc. Basically, SQL is a specialized programming language. It is used to interact with relational database as we discussed before. It serves as a powerful tool to communicate with the data, enabling us to retrieve specific information, add new data, update existing record, and even create or modify the database structure. Think of it as a universal language for managing and working with the vast amount of data stored in relational database. To perform tasks, functions, queries on the database, SQL provides various commands that make it easier to interact with and manipulate the data effectively. Let's talk about the SQL commands. These SQL commands divided into five main groups. Depending on their purpose, let's start with the first group, DDL, Data Definition Language. It is used to define the structure of database objects such as tables, views, function, and etc. Using DDL commands, we can create, modify, and drop any database objects. These commands include create. It is used to create a new database object such as tables, views, or function, and etc. Next is a drop command. Drop, as the name suggests, is used to remove a database object such as table, view, function, etc. from the database. Alter. It is used to modify the structure of an existing table. Alter can be used to rename a table or rename a column. Alter can also be used to add new column or change the data type of an existing column. Using an alter, we can add new constraint or remove a constraint from a table. Next group is DQL, Data Query Language. It contains only one command, which is a select. It helps us to retrieve data from our. It is most important command in SQL land that one you need to master in SQL. The next group is DML, Data Manipulation Language. DML commands are used to load, modify, and remove data from the database. The command include insert. Insert command can be used to load data into the table. Delete. Delete command will remove the data from a table. Update. To update the content of an existing data inside the tables, we use this command. Next group is DCL, Data Control Language. Using DCL commands, database objects from one database or a schema can be accessed from another database or a schema. DCL includes following commands. Number one is grant. It provides the access for database objects to be accessed from different database or schemas. Revoke. It removes the access for database objects to be accessed from different database or schema. The last group is TCL, Transaction Control Language. TCL commands are basically used to save or undo DML transactions into the database. It includes commit. Save the open transaction to database such as insert, delete, update, transaction, and etc. Rollback. It is used to undo a transaction which are not yet committed. Save point. It can be used to create a reference point in between a group of transactions, which can be then called upon to either commit or roll back the preceding transactions. It's time to execute this command. So let's move to the SQL server. So we are in my SQL workbench in which we will create a sales database, then add tables, insert some data by using this SQL commands. Alright, the first step in building any database is creating the database by itself. So let's create this. For that, we are going to use a DTL command create. Then we will define database and its name. At the end, we will add a semicolon. Semicolon is used to terminate a statement. It is always a good practice to add a semicolon after every query, as it helps differentiate one statement from another. Some DBMS like MySQL may allow us to omit it for a single statement, while others like PostgreSQL or Oracle enforce its uses. So let's hit execute and it's done. So let's refresh it. And here you can see we have created our sales database successful. But a database without table is like a house without furniture. So let's move on and create our first table. Create table. Then we will define our table name, sales data, parenthesis. Then we will define our column name which we are going to use in our table. Then it's data type. Perfect. Each column represents a piece of data we will track like order ID, customers IDs, and the location where the sales happened. Let's run this. Our table is created. Let's check it. Here you can see we have successfully created our table, but it is empty now. Before we add data, let's tweak the table a little. Rename one column location, but let's make it more specific by renaming it region. To rename it, we use the alter command like this. Alter table, then table name, rename, let's run this. Our column name is successfully changed. Now let's say we want to track product categories as well. We can add a new column. For that again we use a alter table, table name, add column, column name, category, and its type. The command is successfully updated. Let's check. Again, we successfully added a new column in our table. Alright, let's bring this table live by adding us some data. For that, we use the insert into command. Again, table name, Then we will write a column names which we have created earlier. Then we write a command values and then insert the values in it. Make sure the values match the column order. Let's execute this. We can successfully insert the data in our database. That is now. What if we realize that a specific entry was added by a mistake? No worries. We can delete it by using the delete command. Here you can see that the order ID one is gone. SQL makes managing data super easy. Next up, let's update some data. Suppose we want to change the region for order ID to east. So for that, we will use the update command, table name, define a column, let's run it, and it's done. Now let's check once again. Here you can clearly see that here we can clearly see that we updated the region of an order ID to. The region is now updated. Updating data. Updating data is just as simple as inserting it. Finally, if you ever need to delete a table completely, you can use the drop command. But be careful, this permanently delete the table and its data. For that, we have to use the command drop table and the table name. Then let's run it. Use this only when you are absolutely sure you don't need the data anymore. Let's run this command. Um, it is executed successfully. Now let's check it. And the select command is used to fetch the data from our database. Then after from yeah, you can see that we don't get any because we have deleted this table. As you can see, we have successfully run this command and we don't get a sales data table. And that's it for that. And there you have it. We just built a database from scratch, modified it, added data, and explored some essential SQL commands. If this tutorial helped you, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more. See you soon. Thank you.